Live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
See. Oh, well, we're back again. How you boys doing? It is Tuesday. It is Ass Whip Tuesday. I am coming from the K-Mike Studios in the greater San Antonio, Texas area. We've decided today that, last night it's because I don't like the cold. Or yesterday, I did the show in my apartment because I don't like the cold weather. Today, I was going to be back in KLG Studios, but Lawrence told me it'd be best for me to do the show in my apartment today because we have a full day of broadcasting. Man, do we ever. We have this show, and then the two of us have to hoof it over to Mi Familia, where we do our 3 Cents podcast that brings in Ernie and Orale Cleto. And we'll be doing that show today at 1 o'clock. So, that being said, to make life easier logistically for LG, I am at K-Mike Studios. And it looks great, right, Lawrence? And it sounds awesome, right, LG? Everything's wonderful.
It's adequate.
I'll take adequate. And maybe that's a good lead into Ass Whip Tuesday. And a lot of y'all probably think I'm a sissy because I didn't want to drive to LG's studio at his house in the cold rain yesterday because the weather was crappy. And I fully admit that I have become a gigantic pizza when it comes to the weather. Not the heat. I'm fine with the heat. A lot of y'all go nuts over the summertime. Man, I cannot handle the cold. I've never loved the cold anyway. But I think living in Hawaii for 3 years just ruined my, you build up a tolerance as a Texan to hell, all sorts of weather. But I had a semi-decent tolerance to cold weather before I moved to Hawaii. But whatever winter weather tolerance I had as a lifelong Texan went completely out just drained from my biology. Living in Hawaii for 3 years where the weather was literally the same every effing day, every single day, with the exception of whenever it rains a little bit. But even then, when it rains, it's never cold and the temperature never drops. It just rains and it's still the same temperature. And so I got super soft. That's my ass whip this week. That's my ass whip today. And I want to hear everybody else's ass whip. So you boys that are in here already watching this thing, what is whipping your ass today and why? No doubt something somewhere in this world, especially by the second work day of the work week, has chapped thy ass. What is it today? What is beating you down? Jump in here, chat with us, get it off your chest. That way you can get all that negativity out of your system and go about your day and do whatever it is you have to do. But in the meantime, we are a couch for you to bitch on. What is whipping your ass today? Mine is the shitty weather we had for 3 days in a row. I'm fine with cool temperatures. It's that damn wind that makes me crazy. I just can't get into it. And it was just, I think, anything below 60 degrees right now, and I'm just like, I've turned into a 80-pound old lady when it comes to the winter.
Do your knees start to hurt like a day before it starts to rain? And you're like,
No,
it's going
I
to rain,
don't.
mijo.
No, my brain doesn't work, and my heart doesn't work.
You
literally
don't have the old man sense or old lady sense where you can just feel the storm coming from miles away in your body because you get certain aches and pains. No,
you'd think that my bunion would flare up whenever it was about to get cold again.
Yeah, Tonoply
Doesn't
doesn't show up. Doesn't.
Nah.
Yeah,
Mike Toller doesn't care, but I get depressed. Seriously. I can handle 1 or 2 days of cold in a row, but when it gets to 3, 4, 5, 6 days where there's no sun, it doesn't touch 60, it's windy and rainy.
There's a term for that, I believe, that the Seattle people call. I forget what they say, but there's a term for that where the weather's like that for so long and causes depression. There's an actual,
for sure,
word to describe that.
Yeah, there's data on this, and I'm not one of the I'm a proud Texan. I ain't one this day. I don't miss work because I don't feel good. But seriously, I get depression vibes with the weather we've had, and so that's why I wanted to bitch about that today. I'm happy that the sun is out today. Thank God. It's still cool, but it's sunny, and that's great. So the sun's out.
Seasonal
The guns
affective
are out.
disorder, or SAD,
No
is
shit.
what they call it. Yeah, seasonal
Season-
affective disorder.
Okay, well, I get from living in Hawaii 3 years has given me that now. Seriously, anything below 60. I'm not kidding, man. And I just get depressed. And as long as there's some sun, even if it like then this like here in a month or two in February and January where we're going to have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 straight cold ass days, I can deal with the cold. I'm okay with that. Don't love it. It's when there's no sun or you throw in that rain we've had for 3 days in a row, and it's just I've just ass whipped, and it's like makes you want to hop on a plane and just go down to Mexico and do the show down there for a few days in some random Mexican town. Like I don't know
You know,
what.
I
Uh
could use
oh.
a vacation. You know,
Well, this show.
we could
Well,
take the show on the road.
I
Just saying.
well, are we going to find decent internet down in San Juan de Capitate or whatever town we go to in cartel country?
I would imagine Cancun has some decent internet, or Cozumel, or some touristy area.
Didn't Acapulco like have a giant storm, had a big tsunami, and
I mean, if you could get on
flooded?
the air from your little hut in freaking North Shore, then we could probably definitely get on from Mexico. I imagine the
You'd think.
cartel has Google Fiber or something of
Yeah.
equal
Yeah,
level.
yeah. Some other town like I don't know, Playa del Kidnap.
So we're not going to go to Sinaloa or anything like that. We're not going to go hang out in Cartagena.
Come on, Thunderdome. Give me some credit.
Although
I
I
like
would go
San Juan de Capitate. I'm
We could
proud
go
of
to
that one.
San Juan.
I'm proud of that.
We could do some Puerto Rico. Don't
So
even need a
that's my ass
passport for
whip
that.
today. The weather sucked, and I'm thankful that the sun's out today, so that's good. LG, what's whipping your ass and why? Other than you, I'm sure your never-ending worry whenever I have to do the show away from you.
Well, that's just a
Outside of that,
constant ass whip. Yeah,
I
you
know.
always have issues you make up issues in your head. Like yesterday, you sent me a text. I need help. Please call me. Like 10 minutes before the show, and there was absolutely nothing wrong.
Well, I just needed to make sure that it was working. And
Yeah.
dude,
Mhm.
you and I, whenever we're apart, when we get like 10 minutes out and we haven't talked yet, I panic
Yeah.
because
Well,
I don't trust me.
my ass whip is the amount of people that feel the need to put their hazards on when they're braking in traffic.
Okay, I've seen that
I've just-
before, and
I've
it's
just-
confusing.
Well, yeah, it's confusing because the hazards are, for emergency or when your car's messed up or something like
Mhm.
that. But I've noticed it's increased a lot more lately. There's people that just throw their hazards on, just at the light turned red. I'm gonna throw my hazards on. Like, what the hell? I can understand if like there's a pile up and you need to stop short and you're just kind of giving a little warning. But I'm seeing it like every day now in just regular normal driving. It's ridiculous. Use the hazards for what they're for when there's a hazard.
Right, yeah.
Not just braking. That's what your brake lights are for.
Sure. If
Yeah,
a
anyway.
lion jumps in your car and is mauling you, flip your hazards on.
There you go.
Otherwise, don't. Yeah, I'm with you. I never use my hazards unless I'm stranded on the side of the road, or everyone's braking ahead of me, and I don't want to get smashed in the ass because
I've
some
noticed
asshole's on his
a
phone.
lot of these, these coal rolling trucks, these big, monster trucks do it a lot. And I'm thinking maybe they've programmed it into their brakes to where every time they step on the brake, the lights just flash a few times.
Uh-huh.
And dumb. That's all I can say. Ass whip.
Thank you. No, it's a good one. All right, Thunderdome. What is whipping your ass and why? Jump in here on a chat, and we'll read some here in a little bit. There's plenty to go around for us all, so jump in here. And while you're chatting, you can always tip us. Keep this show employed. Keep it on the air. We got dinged by YouTube again yesterday because I sent some audio to LG that he did not listen to, and we wound up getting dinged for copyright problems because the piece we ran involving Greg Popovich and Tom Rinaldi, which was a beautiful piece on Pop's tenure as a distinguished alumni of the Air Force Academy, had music in the background, and we played it and got in trouble with YouTube, and we were no longer able to monetize off yesterday's show. So let's make
to
up
be
for
fair,
it
it was
with
the
a tip
members
today.
only. It was the members only show.
Oh, that's true. That was
Yeah.
members only.
So,
Yeah. What
we
still
already
though? I mean,
monetized on that show. If you
correct.
think
You're
about it.
right.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. But so to make up for whatever lost revenue we had because of my malfeasance, jump in here today with a tip. You can jump on the super chat. Just requires a minimum tip. Couple bucks. We love you hard, and that's we use it all primarily for production and to feed our dogs, and that's really all we really make on this thing. This is no way to make a living doing podcasts. This is an excellent, very fun side hustle. But
Come on, you cough up a bucket, cheap bastard.
when you make it your primary income avenue, um, you know, it's a tough thing, as LG can attest to. But it's fine. I made the decision to go off on my own. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was, there are people that are way, way, way having it harder in this world than me. I get that. It ain't like I'm, Red and Shawshank that just got paroled and there's no way I'm going to make it here on the outside. I'm going to be fine. But I just, I decided to take this risk, and it's made me poor. And I knew that was going to be one of the effects of the cause. But I believe in the cause still. But in the meantime, I need to eat. So if y'all have something you want to give me, then jump in here with a super chat tip, or just do it for free. That's fine too. What's whipping your ass?
What do we get for $10?
All right, a lot of y'all are ass whipped today, as I've read through some of the replies on my social media. The annual Fright Fest this time of the year for UTSA football supporters that is having to deal with Jeff Traylor rumors. We should all be used to it by now. I certainly am. It sucks, and it's nothing you want to go through as a fan, especially those of us that are really hardcore fans of that program. And if you're like me, really hardcore supporter of the great Jeff Traylor, the official college football coach of this show. And every year, right around this time, one year it might be Baylor one year, or TCU, or whatever. And here this week, of course, with Texas A&M making the decision to let go of Jimbo Fisher. Now we're all freaking out that the Aggies might take a run at Jeff. And I think what makes this more scary for UTSA supporters is we all know that he probably should take the job if they offer it. And that sucks. It stinks. It's kind of like being you're an ugly dude and you got a real hot girl, and she loves you and y'all have had a great relationship, but you know that at any minute, or if you get caught slipping, if you don't make her happy, and keep her interested, then she could get taken at any point by a much well-off, better dude. But the weird part is, if you act too paranoid, that's going to send her away anyway. So you have to try to be normal. Yeah, go Roadrunners. We're good. Everything's good. Birds up. Knowing in your heart that he might leave and go to the fucking Aggies, man. So, and you know in your heart that it's probably the right thing for him to do if he decides to do it. And that's a shitty feeling as a UTSA fan, and that is what you accept. You accept that when you choose to be a UTSA fan, you choose to freak out about Jeff Traylor's status as your coach once a year, right around this time. And it's a bit of an ass whip for sure. So yesterday, of course, you have this LG. I don't think there's any music in the background, so we won't get dinged by YouTube. It was that what's his name, DeLuca? What the hell is that kid's name that covers UTSA? For the Express News. I'll figure it out in a minute. But he asked Traylor point blank about Jimbo being fired and, of course, his name being linked. And this has become an annual thing for Traylor to have to be addressing rumors about his status. And this is how it sounded yesterday out there.
Coach, what was your reaction to the Texas A&M job coming open?
It's always sad when you see any coach get let go of. I mean, people like to talk about it. It's almost sickening because they don't really understand the ramification that goes to the entire building. And it's always sad, especially the school that's important to our state as that school is.
What was your reaction to hearing your name linked? Or maybe you haven't heard, but People are saying you're one of the best candidates for that job. What's your reaction to that?
Me coaching in the state of Texas my entire life, and the success we've had at Gilmer and here at UTSA, it's natural. It means you've been winning a lot of ball games. It means I've had a group of seniors, 21 of them. They're going to play their last home game this Friday night, so they've had 4 years of success. And so that speculation is going to always come up when you've had great players like I've had and been blessed to coach them.
Have you addressed that speculation with the players? Does that need to be a topic of conversation within your team meeting?
It comes up every year except for my first year here, and so we've addressed it. And I told them it's a good thing. That means they're winning a lot of ball games for us, and as long as they keep winning ball games, there's always going to be speculation.
I know you guys are on the short week, and it's a lot of emotions with senior night, and now you throw that into the mix as well. What's it like just trying to balance everything through this week?
They're used to it. We've been through it every year. This is year 4, and year 2 there was a ton of speculation, and year 3 there was a lot of speculation, and year 4 there's speculation. And we're still here winning games, and hopefully we're playing for our 3rd straight championship.
All right. Nowhere near did I hear him vehemently tell us that he's no way going to leave. The way Dan Lanning did last night up in Oregon. If y'all get a chance, if you care about this, go watch Dan Lanning, the Oregon coach who was asked about Texas A&M. And Lanning, and coaches always act like they're not leaving and then they leave. There ain't no way Dan Lanning is leaving. He can't. After the way he answered that question last night up in Oregon, if Dan Lanning leaves now, then he'll lose all credibility as a human. Dan Lanning, he went George Bush, raid my lips. No, he didn't say that, but he was like, no. Dan Lanning says there is 0 chance he's leaving Oregon. 0. Talked about his 3 kids that are all elementary and junior high school age. Talked about how much he loves living in Oregon, and how awesome the Oregon football program is, and it is awesome. And so my Aggie buddies, they get pissed. That's okay if they get pissed, and I understand if y'all do. But I stand by what I said yesterday with regards to Dan Lanning, because a lot of my Aggie buddies would love Dan Lanning, the Oregon coach, to take this job, and his name is probably at the top of the A&M list, unless they've now scratched it off after Lanning was so vehement last night. No way I'm leaving. 0 chance. My Aggie buddies get pissed, but other than unless there's personal reasons, you got family you want to be near, or you just want to live in the South, or you're just about money, there's no reason why you would leave the Oregon job for the A&M job, unless it's for personal reasons. Again, you just want to live in Texas. Maybe you got family, or you're just chasing the most money. If you're and it's not like Oregon can't pay Dan Lanning. It's fucking Oregon and Phil Knight, and that is not a better job than Oregon. The A&M job. You can get mad all you want, but it is not a better job. Face value. Remove the money. Remove the geography or the personal. Someone who takes the A&M job, it's going to be sure about money, and they have a lot. But it's also going to be just because you feel like that's personally where you want to be, and you want to accept the challenge of getting A&M to where they want to be, where they've not been in 100 years. There is no way you leave the Oregon, just the job itself, for the A&M job. A&M, that job is not a better job than Oregon. I'm not even sure if it's fucking close, but we're so close to it down here, and my Aggie buddies are so close to it, obviously. They think, oh, well, he don't leave Oregon for A&M, and he don't know his own ass from last Tuesday. That's not true. Oregon's a terrific job. And thinking Aggies know that too. He'd be leaving a program where he has just as many resources, where they're going to the Big Ten, where he has a chance to win the Big Ten in year 1, or he can go to A&M and go 7-5 and then spend 3-4 years there and then get shit canned, just like all the other coaches have before him. It's just not a good situation. And until A&M makes it a good situation, it's not a good situation. It's where head coaches get paid forever, the way Jimbo's being paid, but it's also where their careers get ruined because they leave with their tail between their legs and a shit ton of money, but with their reputation in tatters because they lost. It's just not a good scenario at A&M for anybody that wants to be a head coach. It's going to take a special, unique person to take that job. And honestly, as I think about this, and of course, trying to remove my own personal stuff out, which is hard, my own biases out, which is hard. Are there better coaches in the country than Jeff Traylor? Of course. Are there guys out there that might even be a better fit at A&M than Jeff Traylor? I don't know, because that's different. Lanning is a dude that's up in Oregon, and he likes that community. Jeff Traylor's an East Texan now. He's a Texan. He's worked and played in Texas his whole life. That is a perfect character for Texas A&M. I still don't think the Aggies have the balls to do it. I don't know that the Aggies think that I think that they think that they may be above Jeff Traylor, which is not true at all. I think Traylor would be a perfect fit at Texas A&M. So we'll see what happens. I doubt he's number one on their list. He may be on the list, but I don't know that he may not. He'd probably at the end of it. And to a lot of Aggies, they feel like they'd probably be giving up if they hired him. We couldn't find anybody else. Let's just settle for Traylor. There may be better coaches out there, but I don't know that you're going to find a better fit to your culture than what Jeff would bring. However it shakes down, Roadrunners, it's how we have to live every year this time of the year. It sucks, but it's what you sign up for when you decide to be a UTSA supporter, knowing that your coach could get poached at any minute by one of these powerhouse schools. I know this. How many times has Jeff Traylor complained with a smile, in a professional manner, in public to the media, about lack of resources? He'd have no such issues there. You know, Jeff's in his 50s. His kids are all grown. I do know that he loves this town. His wife loves this town. But Jeff Traylor is a guy that likes challenges. Exhibit A, he took the UTSA job. He's a guy that I think would love the opportunity to finally be the guy that gets the Aggies to where they want to get in that conference. He'd be a god. They'd make a statue of Traylor if he even went to the playoffs. And I think he can, especially with them extending the playoffs. And we're going to have 12 schools, and God knows how it's going to look even in a year from now when the Pac-12 goes to hell and everybody leaves. God knows what college football will look like in 5 years. I do know that Jeff's not a young guy. He's in his 50s. And if there ever came a job like A&M, he may turn down Baylor. He may turn down TCU. He ain't turning down A&M if they offer him the gig, unless he just has a soul searches. He's also a very religious guy. He'll let God help him make the decision. He'll go with his gut, which in his mind will be the Lord, which is great. And at the end of the day, winners get to do what they want. And if Jeff leaves and goes to A&M, that doesn't mean I won't support UTSA, but man, it's going to stink. But I'll support him. I'll ride with Jeff Traylor wherever he goes the rest of his career. I've got to know him a little bit since he's been here, and I like him a lot. So that's it. So the Aggies, I don't know who's on your list. I don't know who you're talking to, but I know that if Jeff Traylor's not on your list, then you're fools. Stop the pretentiousness and finally hire the right guy. And if the right guy really is Traylor, then have the balls and do it, even if you don't think it'd be a national splash, which I'm not even sure that that's the case. The Aggies get in their own heads and overthink things so often, and they make the wrong decisions, and it's time to stop doing that. All right, so that's it. So my point is, the Aggies should hire Jeff. I don't want them to. It's both. It's going to suck, but they should hire him, and he probably should take the job. All right, show brought to you in part by R&R Auto Glass, right there by the airport at 281 in Tacoma. That is where you find R&R. Let's say you're going southbound on 281. You exit Tacoma. You take a right about a quarter mile down on the left-hand side. You will find the home of Thunderdome's Auto Glass Company, the best in town. Poodle San Antonians, UTSA football season ticket holders, and just the best in the city at fixing glass and cars. And they just happen to be Poodle San Antonio independently owned. which why would you go to some big national chain where you can put money into the pockets of Poodle San Antonio people like my boys and girls over at R&R Auto Glass? 210-340-2588, 3340-2588, or rnrautoglass.com, rnrautoglass.com. All right. Agapito Flores. Nothing like pudding. I just love that name, Agapito.
What's happening?
And I'm so glad he does not use a nickname. If my parents had named me Agapito, shit, I'd be don't call me Pito. Don't call me AP. I'm Agapito. Nothing like putting off work to listen to Taylor for an hour. Appreciate you, Holmes. The weather's beautiful. Listen to me, play hooky the rest of the day. Go out and enjoy the sun. Locked On Spurs. What's up, Jeff? Living in New York City for years, I lost my tolerance for the heat. Yeah, it's the opposite. Yeah. Jeff got used to those mild temperatures in New York in those brutal winters.
You know, there's only 2 places I've ever had a heat stroke. One of them is on the top of the press box at the soccer complex here at UTSA.
Yeah.
Just a month or two ago. And the other one was at Coney Island in Brooklyn during the summer.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They were having a mermaid parade.
Oh, my God.
And they blocked off the access to the streets and the subway. And I was just stuck like in a mass of people in the heat in the middle of the summer. And I had no water. I was dehydrated from drinking the night before. And dude, I passed out almost. It was ridiculous. It does get hot in New York. It gets extremely hot in New York, but nothing.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not 107 days in a row.
It was like 99 when I was there, though.
Right.
And this was
8
years ago. So
it's a massive heat wave.
So I'm sure it's even hotter now.
Yeah. So he's got the opposite problem. He spent so much time in the cool temperatures he can't hack the heat. I'm the opposite. I mean, I damn near died last Christmas, a year ago, almost next month, is when Nina and I moved into this apartment we're in now, this palatial $150,000 condo that I bought her. Kidding.
It's called a penthouse.
Sure, yeah. Well, we moved to this penthouse. It was in the dead of winter, and I had to take a couple of timeouts because my lungs were on fire. Because I have not been in the winter like that. I periodically came home a couple of times when I was living in the hellscape, but only for a couple of days at a time, and I was out of here and back to the hellscape. Boy, that was the first full winter I've gone through in years, and what's the opposite of a heat stroke? Cold stroke? I had a cold stroke last winter. It was
hypothermia.
It was not good. Huh?
Hypothermia, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. Frozen lung.
Frostbite?
Not sure, man.
Something.
Yeah.
Death?
Yeah, death. Eddie the Great's in here.
I'm with you. I don't do cold either.
No, I hate it. Eddie the Great's in here calling me out. People that work indoors are the only ones that bitch about it being cloudy. Man up and you'll be fine. Well, excuse me, Eddie.
It's got a point.
No, here's the thing. You know what? That's fine. But I love the outdoors. Sure, we work in a studio. We have to. This job requires us to be indoors, but shit, it's only an hour a day. Now, I'm holed up in that damn liquor store, too, 2 or 3 days a week. And so I'm stuck inside for there. Living in Hawaii, I became an outdoorsman, more than ever. I was always an outdoor guy. In Hawaii, you're outside all the time. Like, if you're not asleep, even dinners, you eat outside every night. You're always outside. I want to be outdoors, but I can't hack this fucking cold. So I'm trying to build back some tolerance. But Eddie's got a point, but I want to go outside. All right. Happy late birthday to Austin's own Tammy Markham. Really appreciated the members only post yesterday. Love y'all hard, Tammy and Austin. Yeah, we did do a members only show yesterday, in addition to the free live show we do every morning at 10. And it's still out there if you want to go watch our members only show. $6. That's all it costs. Thank you, Tammy, for being a member. I love you hard for doing that. That's it. $6 a month to be subscribed to the members only content that we do. And I can tell you right now, this show's not going to die anytime soon. Yes, we beg you for money because we don't make any, hardly at all. We appreciate what we get, but Lawrence and I we don't want to go get 9-to-5 jobs just yet. Next year at some point we may have to, but for now we're going to keep trying to make this work, and that requires your tips, and I appreciate it. Become a member.
Yeah. And shout out to Fox NFL for dinging us on that members only thing.
Well, was it that who snitched on us to YouTube?
That's who. I mean, it gives them a flag that we use their
Mhm.
content. Yeah, and
The
then
AI
they
that they
decide what to
use.
do. They decide, oh, let them use it, or no, we're going to take your money. So,
I understand. I don't blame them.
F
The sons
them.
of bitches. Yeah, I know. Like Fox needs more money. All right. What else
Fox
today?
running an NBA piece, by the way.
I know.
NFL running a piece
I know.
on Pop.
It was a great piece, and I love Tom Rinaldi. I never watch that pregame show anymore. I love Jimmy, but I don't have time for that show. But whatever. Do you think they wouldn't bother some little ding dong podcast?
Yeah, we're
But
just two
alas, they
local
did.
screwballs.
Two local screwballs. We got about 6 listeners every day, and they decide to mess with us. So whatever.
Oh yeah. By the way, we're on Twitter and Facebook today as well.
Oh, right on.
Simulcasting, yeah.
Okay.
And we have 2 people watching on Facebook and 3 people on Twitter.
Oh, what's up? That's badass. I appreciate that. Here's to y'all. Appreciate you hard. Love you. Thank you. Per Michael Gilkin, who covers the Cowboys for the Dallas Morning News, there is growing concern at the Star that the veteran linebacker Leighton Vander Esch will not return this season. Not a good thing to have to endure. That's another one of my ass whips today is the probability that we may never see Vander Esch play for the Cowboys again. I don't know if he'll be going to be putting on that helmet again. I don't know that he'll be putting on that helmet again.
I don't know if I'll be putting on this headset again.
For anybody. He had yet another neck issue. That's why he's been out all these weeks. And now the Cowboys have floated out to a couple of reporters up there in that Metro Sex that he's probably going to have neck surgery. And if he does, he's done for the year. And with Leighton Vander Esch's history of neck problems, he's going to have to take a long, hard look within and make a decision on whether or not he should be playing football ever again for anybody. And so that was a tough thing to read last night. He's probably done, and maybe even done, Leighton Vander Esch. And life goes on. You got to keep playing ball. And luckily for the Cowboys, they've been using 2 dudes at Vander Esch's position primarily, that Damone Clark and that Marquise Bell. And honestly, those 2 kids they've done fine as a two-man duo out there filling in for Vander Esch's spot. I thought that was going to leave a fallow hole whenever he got hurt again, and they were going to suffer. But Bell and Clark have done fine at that spot. And, and what I was worried about was that, because there was going to be a weakness left in the linebacking crew, that Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator, was going to have to coordinate the defense differently. He was going to have to cover for the weakness. But he hasn't had to do that because Bell and Clark have gotten the job done, so he can worry about other stuff, calling defense during games, because he doesn't have to doesn't have to cover the weakness. Like, oh shit, let's get somebody over there to help them, which of course affects another part of the field. But those 2 kids have held their own. They've been fine. He didn't have to cover for them, and that's a good thing. What else is in here? JC, A&M needs to get their crap together. Sincerely, this Aggie. Although there's just something special about Aggieland. There is something special about Aggieland, no doubt. It's unique. The Longhorns call it a cult. But even if it's a cult, still unique. And I mean, do I think Jeff Traylor could go to Austin and lead UT to glory? Maybe. Do I think Traylor could go to A&M and lead the Aggies to glory? Probably. I'm not trying to label anybody. I think y'all know what I mean. Just Jeff Traylor just seems like a better fit for the Aggies. He just seems like a cultural fit there. And I would love to see it happen for him if that's what he wants. I would hate it for the Roadrunners, but I would love it for him. It'd be like LG dumping me because he got hired by Netflix or something. I mean, it is what it is. We're the UTSA of podcasts. And I don't know if Key and Peele wanted LG to go run their podcast, or, Jason Bateman were to call LG. Not that A&M is Jason Bateman, because, Jason Bateman's podcast, they've won some natties. But I'd just tell LG he had to take the job. So if he gets a $6 million a year job to go to A&M, I mean, UTSA should just say, Jeff, thank you, man. That's awesome. Congratulations. Take the gig. Adrian, Jeff Traylor will be A&M's third choice like the ticket's third choice and Mike Taylor back in the day, and it'll be the same success. Aw, thank you, bro. Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate that support. That's support for me. AF Blue 82, Taylor's a dude. He would kill it with those resources. Thank you. By the way, Adrian. Yeah, no doubt he would kick ass at A&M with those resources. By the way, maybe I'll be the third choice of somebody again pretty soon. I will never leave this podcast. But what is today? What is today, LG? The what? 13th, 14th?
14.
In 3 weeks, I will officially be a free agent. Because when I left iHeartRadio, in this crazy ass, in crazy terrestrial corporate radio world, you are legally bound not to work for another radio station or television station. Just throwing that out. You're not allowed to work on any public broadcast that is a FCC licensed broadcaster for 6 months. In 3 weeks, that 6 months would have been over. On December the 9th, I am officially free to go anywhere I want. Now, I will never leave this podcast. That doesn't mean we're not open to changing the start time. Just like I would
Or
never
the
want
format.
Or the format.
Yeah. Yep.
That's right. Yeah, today we're going to talk about pickles for 3 hours.
Or the schedule for number of days we do it in the week.
Correct. Because we're happy we're happy this show, and you know what, this show ends today. I'm not kidding you, man. I will forever be grateful for the success of it. How many podcasts in this world are there? 20 million? I don't know. Throwing out a number. How many podcasts are there? I don't know. How many make money? 1% of them? No, we don't make enough to retire on, but this show makes money. Thank God, because of y'all, our advertisers, and our supreme talent have all come together to form this little fledgling podcast. And I appreciate it.
Got a lot better at this YouTubing.
That being said, though, I would never want LG to not go to A&M if they offered him let's say the Aggies want LG to go run all their podcasts. Billy Lucci wants you to go run Texags, and he wants to give you $100,000 a year to do it. You'd be nuts not to do that, dude.
Do I got to live in College Station?
Yeah, that's the thing. Jeff Traylor would too. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe you want to move to
I'd have
College
to do
Station.
some kind of remote situation there.
Yeah, Mrs. Traylor might ask if Jeff can remotely coach A&M.
I'd rather live in Houston. That's the closest big city.
All right, fine. So let's say, I don't know, the Houston Astros want to give LG stupid money to go run all their broadcasts.
See ya. Peace.
See ya. We'd still do this, but it would be different. That's all I'm saying. In 3 weeks, I'm a free agent. Who knows who may call me? I don't know. But I don't want to give up this podcast. I enjoy it too much. And I love the freedom of it, and then that we make the rules, except for whenever we violate the FCC or the copyright laws of America. Michael Rodriguez, y'all are delusional. Why would the Aggies pay nearly $80 million to Jimbo so they can bring in the mediocre Jeff Traylor from UTSA? Do y'all actually hear yourselves? Hey, fuck you, Michael. I'm kidding. That was harsh. Michael, you know what whips my ass? Delusional people that accuse me of being delusional. If you don't think Jeff Traylor would have success at A&M, you don't know shit about Jeff Traylor. I mean, I'm not saying he's the best coach in America, but cultural wise, Mike, dude, I don't know how old you are, Michael. I don't know how many A&M games you've watched over the years or how much you followed that program, dude. But, I mean, we going back to R.C. Slocum here. R.C. Slocum, when did he leave A&M? 01, 02? I don't know. It's been 20-plus years of bullshit. Different coaches, same old bullshit. Dennis Franchione. Jimbo Fisher, he won a national title, for God's sake. He's got a Southern accent, too. He's used to the SEC. He couldn't win there. It is not about digging up the bones of Vince Lombardi and bringing in the best coach. They cannot find the right cultural fit. Kevin Sumlin was not it. Sumlin was as hot as it gets as a coach in this country, and Sumlin was Jimbo was a veteran coach who worked with Saban, won a natty at Florida State, was used to recruiting in the SEC. He couldn't win. It is simply about culture and fit. And if you don't think Jeff Traylor is anything beyond mediocre, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, Mike. You just don't. You just don't. Tex-Mex Frank ass whip, folks already throwing up the Spurs should tank the season attitude.
Spurs.
Also, freaking Jimbo getting $75 million for stinking it up. Meanwhile, I get kudos at work, but little money. I get lots of kudos on this show from y'all. Except when I get called delusional. All right, it is.
I used to love kudos. Whatever happened to those? They were delicious.
The candy bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good.
Great.
Yeah,
They were excellent.
Yeah, they got $75 million to walk.
Good God.
Ah, geez. It's time for, okay, I have another question here today because I don't know the answer. It's time for a Texas female teacher diddling report, sort of. Okay, so this came down last night. I saw this morning. Thank you. So, Lawrence, I need your opinion on something.
Okay. We need
Does
some
it-
fanfare here. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, cool. Thank you. We're paying for, this is music we can actually run.
Yeah, $15 a month. Yeah, we better use it.
If she just sent pictures of her titties and ass, but didn't actually physically do anything with the student, does that count?
I mean, it's illegal, but I don't think that counts as
illegal.
diddling. No, because there's
This
no
came
diddle.
down. Something called Cy Benefield Jr., the writer for the Express News, former NEISD assistant facing charges related to child grooming. The employee sending titty pics. The employee chose to resign rather than being terminated on the spot. A warrant has been issued for a former Northeast ISD employee after she came forward and reported, she self-reported. Maybe Jim Harbaugh wouldn't be in such trouble had he self-reported. She admitted
Shout out
that
to the
she,
NEISD, my district.
Yeah. So she came forward and says that she and a Johnson High School student were exchanging inappropriate pictures. So he was sending her pictures of his high school wiener.
His
She was
Johnson
sending-
High School.
Johnson High, Lady Bird, Johnson High. Thank you. I wonder if it was the quarterback. You know, he's a TCU kid. I like him. He's good. Johnson High School principal Gary Comalander, who has a
Is that the
stadium
dude?
named
Yeah,
after
I was gonna
him.
say that's the Blossom Field, Blossom Athletic Center. That's the field, Comalander Stadium.
It's a bit unstable to get your stadium named after you while you're still
You're still alive.
working. Yeah. What if he gets a DUI next week? What if he gets popped sending pictures? Gary Comalander sent a letter out to parents Monday stating that the former paraprofessional assistant, well, she worked in the office, I guess, administration? Paraprofessional assistant.
Sure.
Was exchanging pictures through a social media platform last month with a student at the high school, adding that the former employee chose to resign rather than being terminated on the spot. According to reporting by KENS 5, the school district said that they immediately contacted the Northeast PD before officers launched a full investigation. Early findings by the department determined there was no physical contact and no one else was involved. But Child Protective Services and the student's family were also contacted, and a warrant has been issued for this chick's arrest. So again, I ask you, does it count? If there was no actual physical contact, she was just sexting him,
No,
sending
it doesn't.
titty pics.
It doesn't count. They do not go on the scoreboard. I don't think.
Okay, all right. So
They
no,
prevented it from happening. It was nipped in the bud.
well, because he couldn't nip her in the bud, she went ahead and did it herself.
Stick your cock up her ass.
Okay. All right, so LG says no. I tend to agree. It does not count. There has to be touching. Now she still should be fired. She's not going to go to prison though. This is nothing. You can send a picture of your cooter, right, and not go to prison. Even though the kid's it's not like he's a 4-year-old. That would be weird. But he's probably, he's in high school.
Do we get an age on this one?
See, that to me means something too.
I'm guessing 25, 24.
Yeah, probably young.
Do we have a picture?
Paraprofessional assistant sounds young to me. AF Blue 82's in here calling out Mike Rodriguez. Mike Rodriguez, that dude is a casual looking at UTSA record and calling Trailer mediocre. He doesn't realize the lack of resources and recruiting power and consistently outperforming expectations of what they should. I'll tell you right now, Jimbo Fisher's ass could not have done at UTSA what Jeff Traylor's done. I don't know if that makes my argument any better, but I don't think he could. I don't know that Steve Sarkisian could have done a better job at UTSA than what my boy's done. We're going to make a phone call live on the air, LG. You nervous?
No one told me.
I know. Well, if I told you, you might have cracked down on it. He may not answer, though. Probably at work. See, if we'll leave him a voicemail. We're calling Jim Bob. It's his 40th birthday. 40!
Hi, it's Jim Bob. Sorry I missed your call, but if you leave a message, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.
I'm a man. I'm
At the tone, please record your message.
Hey,
You may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Well, you're a man. You're 40. Wow. You're 40, dude. You know what that means? Death is in your future. Because when you're younger, it seems like it's really distant and far away. But now that you're 40, your immortality takes over, especially since you've had a face transplant and you've had massive organ issues. And you're just a giant human and you live in a city where the restaurant scene is very unhealthy. So with all that being said, here's to a long, long, long life. Happy birthday from your homies at Taylor Live. Oh, it's Mike, by the way. Love you hard. Miss you. Congratulations on all your success and stuff. And are you hiring for weekends? Love you hard. Happy birthday. Okay, cool. I had to solicit for jobs. I'll be a free agent in 3 weeks, Hey, I'd kick ass on that station. Don't you think if you let me do commentaries? I'd destroy.
Would you move to Corpus?
No, I just make the commute on weekends. That's why I can't, weekends. Make the commute. What's that drive? 90 minutes? Probably not.
It's almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I guess because I'm on, where I live to the TV station's probably downtown. Yeah, I just drive up on Friday night and work the weekends and come home. So happy birthday to the Bear, Jim Bob Brazil, who was the first producer of this show. First one. Love him hard. Pretty badass. AF Blue 82, late ass whip. The Baylor TCU game being rebranded to the Blue Bonnet Battle from the Revivalry. What the hell do Blue Bonnets have to do with these two institutions? Not a damn thing. It's out of touch, rich people that make decisions, coming up with dumbass names for stuff. F Baylor, by the way. All right, show brought to you in part by San Antonio City Soccer. The official soccer club of this show is San Antonio City Soccer. Love you hard, San Antonio City, the preeminent, most sublime, premier soccer club in town. This is the soccer club of note. There are soccer club at San Antonio City Soccer Club. Pitches all over the city. The ones we support the most are up on the north side of the Speck Road locations, where you can find Thunderdome Field. The home of Thunderdome Field is San Antonio City Soccer Club, ages 4 to 19. There's the information on the screen. Thank you very much to one of our supporters all these months, San Antonio City Soccer. All right, I'll bid you boys adieu with this, because LG's got to get his gear ready to go. Get ready for 3 cents today at 1. How y'all like my boy Sean Payton now? Fort Worth resident. That's right. He got his ass raked over the coals because Denver got a bad start, the Broncos, and he got beaten, and he got caught talking a bunch of shit about that offensive coordinator with the Jets, who was the coach last year in Denver, and did a horrible job and got fired before the season was even over. And Peyton ran his mouth, and he shouldn't have, with people rolling tape, and criticized the guy, Paul Hackett, and basically said that was the worst job any head coach has ever done in the history of the NFL. This is the cupboard that I've inherited, a bare cupboard, because Paul Hackett that was the worst head coaching job anyone's ever done. And he said that to people that got out, and it made him look bad, especially with him losing and Russell Wilson playing like crap. Well, how you like Denver now? A month later, I don't hear any criticism today. The Broncos have now won 3 games out of 4. They go into Buffalo last night and get a hard-fought win against a Buffalo team that is spiraling out of control. Russell Wilson, who for 10 years has been a swing king in the NFL, is finally showing some improvement under my man Sean Payton. They have a shoddy defense in Denver, a defense that gave up 70 to the Dolphins in the first month of the season. But if you look at the last month, they've been forcing a lot of turnovers, those Broncos. So even shoddy defenses can still be good defenses on paper anyway, or miscellaneously, too, if they force turnovers. The great equalizer for having a mediocre defense is forcing turnovers. Turnovers will make up for shoddy defense. And Denver's playing better. They're like 4-5 now. After being 1-4, now they're 4-5. They've won 3 out of 4. And the Bills are in a complete meltdown of the highest order. Last night, they should have won. The Broncos kick a field goal as time expired, and they miss it. Will Lutz, who had a bad night for Denver, misses a field goal. But wait, there's a penalty. The Bills had 12 men on the field. Oh, Jesus. They may fire the special teams coach today. And so Denver gets to kick again, and Lutz makes it, and the Broncos get out of there with a win. And 3 more turnovers for Josh Allen, 2 more interceptions, and a fumble lost. We need a Josh Allen sucks drop. We're going to bag on Dak Prescott. None of y'all want to bag on Josh Allen the way he should be bagged on because he plays in Buffalo and nobody cares.
Dak Prescott sucks.
The Broncos have slowly begun to mollify the absolute mess that my man Sean Payton inherited when he went up there. The only thing he did wrong was giving his opinions on Paul Hackett to the wrong people, and it got out, and then he had to apologize for it. Sean Payton is a good coach. He's got swagger. He don't give a shit. And he opened his mouth in front of the wrong folks, and it got out, and he got tore apart. And, of course, the Jets go on there. They won 1 for Hackett. Big deal. We're the Jets now. Yeah. The Jets suck, and the Broncos are playing better. And, hell, dare I say the Broncos are in playoff contention. All right, we'll end on that, man. You boys, I appreciate the Thunderdomers who have been a part of our 3 Cents podcast I'm doing. With me and LG and Cleto and Ernie. We are up today at 1 o'clock. LG, you need the headphones, right? Headphones?
No.
Okay, what else do you need for me to bring? Change of clothes? Need a condom?
Yeah, that too,
what do you need from me? Okay, all right, cool. All right, that's it. We're done. Thank you, Thunderdome. Thanks, everybody. We'll do this again tomorrow. Y'all be thinking ahead. It's People I Want to Punch Wednesday tomorrow at 10 a.m. At 1, it's 3 Cents Podcast. Y'all watch that and make me look good. Love y'all hard. See you mañana.
Come back, you puppy!
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for all you've done to your bodies. It's still real to me, damn it!